Hello folks, Reloading Bench back with you once again, and I thought I would follow up my 9mm cost to reload in January of 2025 with the other caliber that pistol wise I'm very fond of, and that is 45 ACP. So what I thought I would do is, instead of publishing prices from primers I bought 10 years ago, powders I bought 2 years ago, bullets I bought 2 years ago, is kind of go with today's prices. So I jumped out. In fact, I saw last week a free hazmat from Powder Valley, but obviously I missed that. So I'm going to go with tax, shipping, hazmat, and all the other fees for January of 2025 pricing. So I went out to Powder Valley, and it looks like right now large pistol primers are on sale. They were $104.99, so $105 for a brick of primers, 1,000 primers. They're on sale for $94.49, so essentially $95 for a brick of 1,000. And I was going to put 5,000 in my basket until I couldn't, because Powder Valley is currently limiting these primers, at least CCI large pistol primers, to one brick. So that's all I could buy. So I did a price of this brick from Powder Valley with hazmat, shipping, taxes, and everything else. And that came to a total of $140.12, or 14 cents a primer. That's outrageous. I then looked at, brass. I get brass for free, range pickup, stuff I've shot over the years. So I'm going to give brass a zero cost. And I've had people disagree with me on that one, but that's your call. And I'm sure there's probably match shooters that have to have a certain head stamp, and they would go out and buy, brand new Starline brass. That's cool. So powder from Powder Valley. I can get a 4-pounder, 1, 4, and 8-pounder of Winchester 231, which is what I use for, that's my preferred powder for 45 ACP. This particular 4-pounder, even though I'm showing you a 1-pounder here, but if pretend this is 4 pounds, that 4-pounder is $140.99. And when you add shipping, $15.95, hazmat $22.99, and a tax of $14.45, 4 pounds of powder from Powder Valley comes to $179.93. And that would equate to my particular load for 45 ACP of approximately 3.2 cents worth of powder per round at that particular cost. Bullet, I like to use Bear Creek, so I buy in bulk from Bear Creek, and this is a lead moly coated bullet, 230 grain round nose. And when I buy these in bulk, I'll usually go for $1,500, because then it's free shipping, but I'm still paying tax. And that is $185 for 1,500 bullets, or 12.33 cents per bullet. So if I bought all this stuff individually, that would bring the cost to reload 45 ACP at 29.53 cents for one round. Well, I guess you get the idea. Essentially 30 cents, 29.5 cents to reload 45 ACP with individually purchased components. And I used individually purchased components because even though I priced this from Powder Valley and I priced this from Powder Valley, let's say this wasn't available at Powder Valley and I had to go to Brownell. So I then thought, okay, well, somebody's going to complain. Why didn't you combine these two to save on hazmat and shipping? So I did that. I combined the 1 box I was allowed to buy, the 4 pounds I was put in my cart, and that brought my total, if I bought powder and primers together, that would be $302.56. And then I had to figure out, well, how do I divide the cost to figure out, tax, shipping, and hazmat? So I essentially divided it in half. I put my combined shipping, tax, and hazmat. I cut that total in half and applied it to each one of these particular individuals. And that brought the cost per round to reload in January of 2025 to 26.88 cents. So if I were to buy things locally, and maybe you could buy bullets and lower that cost even more. So my cost, depending on where I got, and again, this was on sale, so if it was regular price, that 29 or 26.88 cents would still be higher. So my range to reload in January of 2025 is 26.88 cents. Let's just round that to 27 cents as a low with brand new purchased components, to a high of 29.53, 29 and a half cents, almost 30 cents per round. Again, all brand new components readily available in January of 2025 with potential limitations on how much you can purchase. I would have normally purchased a brick of, or at least 5 bricks to save on the hazmat and the shipping. So I jumped on AmmoSeek, and somebody had told me, hey, when you're filtering on AmmoSeek, there's a whole bunch of filters. So AmmoSeek will list things as seconds with a little S, reconditioned with a little R, steel. I can't remember if steel was, the red flag or not. And some of them will be listed as small primer. I don't like small primer, so I will only, if I were to purchase brand new 45 ACP, I would only purchase large pistol primer because I save the brass, and I toss all of the the small pistol primer out. I do not load small pistol primer. It drives me crazy that 45 ACP has small pistol primer, and there's nothing worse than coming home from the range when the range guys give you brass and you find out, oh, it's small pistol primer. In fact, some of the range guys are like, hey, dude, here's some brass, and it's all large primer. So that works out pretty good. But if you look for brass, large pistol primer, and bulk meaning 500 and above, not a box of 50, one box of 50 with all the fees. So I went for bulk, and I priced 500 rounds of brass, new, large primer, FMJ from MagTech. And that came out to be $160 for 500 rounds. They require $6 insurance. Shipping was $33.99, so $34. Tax was $20.50. All my videos on delivery costs to my local gun shop are wrong on ammo purchases. I was using a $10 fee, which was an old valid number, 2 years ago. I found out this past week when I visited to say hi that they now charge $30. So if you're having a box of 20 or a box of 50 shipped to my local gun shop, that's a $30 delivery fee. So obviously you want to go in bulk, up to 1,000, I think. $30 covers 1,000. So my local gun shop fee for ammo delivery is $30, plus the dross, plus my state's new sin tax of 11%. That brings my total to 54 cents per round for brand new MagTech brass, large pistol primer, not seconds, not reconditioned, not pulls, not steel. So this is a clear example where with 9mm, I would call it marginal. You save a few cents or more depending on where you're buying and what quantity you're buying in. But for 45 ACP, and I think this is true of a lot of larger calibers, and I talked about 416 Barrett as well. It seems like the bigger the caliber, the better and larger the savings are, because if I'm coming in at the cheapest bulk, meaning 500 rounds, and I'm sure I'd probably save a couple pennies if I went up to 1,000, maybe 1 or 2 pennies, maybe 3. But I'm still about 50 cents a round, commercial ammo, versus even at the highest price of current component pricing, I'm looking at, 27 to 30 cents a round. So at 27 cents, that's about a 2x savings. I'm saving 50% on, or I'm not spending twice as much money. Saving 50%, that's actually, no, it's more than 50%. It's, half the cost. My bullet will cost me 27 cents. That's a 100% jump to 54 cents, 53 cents. So, I'm saving about percent on what that costs me in terms of reloading versus buying commercial off the shelf. And somebody's going to argue that, oh, I just go down to my store, I just drive down the block, it's 30 cents a round. Okay, good for you, good on you. It's not for me, and not where I'm at, and not where I live, and I can't have things delivered to my home, so my costs are higher, and reloading saves a significant amount of I'm saving 50 what is it, what did I say was 54 cents, 54 cents per round versus 27 to 29 and a half cents per round. So that's a considerable savings. And there's also a bunch of people that will say, oh, saving money by reloading, not saving money by reloading. I don't think I save money by reloading. So when I'm quoting these costs, it's not about saving money as much as it is producing the round I want with the powder and how it shoots in terms of performance characteristics, the bullet I want. So I've got my, my performance, my consistency, my accuracy, my availability. I don't have to worry about, going online and this is not available. I just go out to the garage and I make some. And when it's bad weather, I make more, and then I put it in an ammo can and I have it. So when you think about cost, it's not so much about that dollar savings, but people love to measure that dollar savings. It's a combination of the ilities, availability, consistency, performance, you name it, fine tuning for different pew-pews, and having a lot of fun with that. So back to the whole hobby, do you put a price on hobby? So even though the video is about cost, the idea is to compare what it costs to reload today, January 2025, with current market prices of available components versus, buying that same bullet online. And, when you see how some of them are advertised, service ammo, essentially, I'm not going to call it junk, but it's not high quality stuff. And when you reload, you can fine tune that particular load to the performance characteristics you're looking for. And I think that that adds another dimension to reloading, that it's hard to put a cost on that when you control the recipe and what you produce and how it performs. So that's it for 45 ACP, January 2025, readily available. This was in stock, this was in stock, this was not limited, this was limited, and these are in stock. So, and depending on where you get your brass, whether that's free or online, I did not check anywhere for brass online, but all this stuff is readily available in January of 2025. That's a wrap, folks. Take care.